Sonic the Hedgehog, probably one of the most iconic video game characters of all time. From video games, to comics, to cartoons, to even movies, the blue blur still manages to stay relevant after 30 years. If you're quite familiar with this channel, you would have known that I already done a 30th anniversary video for Sonic. It was a Smash montage with Sonic Rush music. Other than that, the only Sonic videos I've ever done were 2-second poorly made memes, which I've only made for views. Very cool. Anyways, for the longest time, I've always wanted to make a properly made video about Sonic. I still think my Smash montage was alright, but I still wanted to express my love for the series here with you guys. I mean, I grew up with this character for almost my entire life. My memory's still a bit fuzzy in when I exactly had my first instance of Sonic, but the earliest memory of when I was first exposed to him was when I was a toddler. Now that came off pretty fucking weird. A few of my family members came to the UK as a vacation, so me and the rest of my family went to London. I'm not too sure what store I was in, but my first ever exposure of Sonic was Sonic and the Secret Rings. Not the greatest game of all time, but I was still glued to the box. I didn't even have a Wii to play it, but I still wanted to game. If I were to guess why I was so glued to it, it was likely the character design of Sonic. The blue fur, the cartoon-like appearance, the overall coolness and edge, and also the fact that I thought it was a DVD. Keep in mind, younger me was not very smart, so yeah. Anyways, I begged for my parents to buy this for me. My aunt told my mom to just let me cry about it, which is pretty funny, but I couldn't stop whining about it. So she ended up buying me the game, which I feel pretty bad about. And to even make it worse, 1 hour later I just dropped the game. Like, holy shit, games are expensive as shit. Like, keep in mind that it was like around like £60, so yeah, I feel really bad about it. So after that, I really wanted a Wii badly, and I wanted more out of this blue hedgehog. So for my birthday, I finally got a Wii, and I was immediately in love with it. It had so much instant classics on it. Most importantly, when I got the Wii, I started getting really interested in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. I had all the games on the Wii, all the games on the DS, I watched all the cartoons. I also watched a lot of YouTube videos about Sonic. Some of my personal favorite Sonic channels at the time were Sonic Paradox, Spin Dash Pro, Balina Productions, and Kobranami 456. These guys and a bunch of other fans of the series make amazing stuff, especially the fan game community. I remember getting on Newgrounds and playing Final Fantasy Sonic and Ultimate Flash Sonic. So yeah, I was basically a huge Sonic nerd. Still am, but I'm proud. However, around 2014 to 2015, I lost interest in Sonic, mainly because I had to sell my Wii, including all my games on it, if I wanted to get a Wii U. And around this time, Sonic wasn't really doing that well, and I was more of a Mario guy at the time. Not to say I didn't like Sonic, I still loved the character and made him in Smash 4, but none of his recent games interested me at all. This was until 2016. It was Sonic's 25th anniversary, and at the Sonic Party event, they revealed 2 new Sonic games. Project Sonic 2017, which turned out to be Sonic Forces, and Sonic Mania. Personally for me, I can't really remember how I felt, but I think I was mildly interested. I wasn't too hyped, but I was pretty optimistic about it. And in 2017, I picked up Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch. And I think Forces was really mediocre, and Sonic Mania, while being a good game, I only played it once with Sonic and Tails. I was still mainly more into Mario since Super Mario Odyssey was coming around the time, so I was more excited about that. Then through 2018 and early 2019, I was not interested in the series at all. There weren't any new games coming out that were interesting. I didn't go back to replay the games. I didn't read the comics, and the god-awful Sonic trailer came out, which made me more disappointed in the series.
Gotta go fast.
Shut your fucking mouth!
I was almost done with Sonic. The only Sonic related things I liked him in was in Smash and the Sonic YouTube animations. Then around late 2019, I went out with a friend to a shopping mall. We then went to this place called CEX, or sex if you're like 6 years old. For those who are unaware of what it is, it's basically a game and DVD store that sells pre-owned stuff. At the time, I really wanted to play some old Wii games since I felt pretty nostalgic for it at the time. So me and my friend went to the Wii section, and in front of me were two games, Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors. I really wanted to buy the two of them, but I didn't have that much money on me, so I went with the cheaper option and went for Sonic Unleashed. Although a lot of people don't like Sonic Unleashed on the Wii, I really like it a lot, and it's what made me go back and fall in love with Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, let me rephrase that. It made me feel like I was younger again, trying to play all the games, collect them all, learn the batshit crazy lore, and here we are now. It's Sonic's 30th anniversary, and since his next mainline adventure is coming out this 2022 holiday, I wanted to do a marathon and countdown to Sonic Frontiers. If you're wondering what games I'll review, I'll just be covering the mainline entries, so no spin-offs or side games. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin at the one that started it all, Sonic the Hedgehog 1. The year was 1990. Sega had two consoles already released by this time, the Sega Master System and the Sega Genesis. However, both of these consoles did not compare to Nintendo's consoles and games. Sega's then current mascot Alex Kidd didn't nearly have as much impact or popularity than Mario. The team at Sega knew this, and they had to make a new mascot to rival the Super Mario Bros. Series and boost the sales of their consoles. So an internal company competition was held to create a new mascot for Sega. During this time, Yuji Naka was looking for his next assignment within the company. He had multiple game ideas he wanted to do, but the one idea that caught his boss's attention was an action game to challenge Mario. At the same time, Naoto Oshima came up with the idea for a game that would feature a speedy character that could run around in loops. This then led to the two of them working together to make the game concept come true. After that, the pair quickly got to work. Yuji Naka came up with the idea to make the game award you with speed depending on how skilled you were after playing through the first level in Super Mario Bros. As fast as possible. Originally, the first design made for the game was a cartoon rabbit. However, as development grew more quickly, the rabbit design didn't quite make sense in terms of the game they were making. So Oshima went back to the drawing board. It was clear that Sega needed an iconic mascot to personify their company, something that would have appealed to a wider range of people, something that evoked a sense of coolness, something that just screamed 90s. Some ideas were thrown around, such as a panda, an armadillo, and an old man in his pajamas. But judging from his looks, I'm sure you all know who he turned out to be. But one design sticked out from the rest, and that was the Hedgehog design. Out of all of the 200 designs that were sent to Sega, the blue Hedgehog was the one that topped them all, and later became Sonic. I mean, what is there left to say about this design? It's absolutely amazing. The blue representing Sega's logo, the expressive eyes styled by Mickey Mouse and Felix the Cat, the red and white shoes inspired by Santa Claus, the buckle influenced by Michael Jackson's wardrobe, and a personality inspired by Bill Clinton's get it done attitude. Really fucking weird choice, but it all culminated into a great, amazing character design done for a fictional character. It's so recognizable and iconic. Even in a bad kid's drawing or a bootleg, you can still know that it's Sonic. Is that fucking Mega Man? I may be a bit biased since Sonic is one of my favorite fictional characters, but it generally did everything Sega dreamed of. Not only it gave Sega a recognizable mascot, it was extremely marketable, went well with the times, fit with the gameplay and style of the game, and changed pop culture as we know it today. With Sega's new mascot, they quickly grew a new attitude and started taking every second to take a piss out of Nintendo.
Does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Collins free. What Nintendo?
Yeah, going third party. However, the localization team felt like Sonic needed to be redesigned for American audiences, so Sega got Greg Martin to redesign Sonic. Some differences to Japanese Sonic include the droopy ears, the fat arms, the shinier look, and most notably the mohawk, which, if you noticed, was carried onto the Sonic cartoons of the 90s. Overall, I think this redesign is alright. I don't think it deserves the flack it gets, but I feel like this redesign is really unnecessary, especially that Sonic was already made in mind for Western audiences. Speaking of design, let's look at the box art for both US and Japan. Firstly is the American version of the Sonic 1 box art. One of the most iconic video game box arts of all time, the bright eye-appealing colors, Sonic right in front of you looking at you with the same goddamn fucking smile. Okay, maybe I'm a bit over-exaggerating. It is definitely iconic, but it's just an okay box art. Nothing too special or unique about it. Then comes the Japan box art, and I have to say, I way prefer Japan Sonic over US Sonic. He just looks more cleaner to me. Anyways, I really like the art direction they have going on for this. It looks quite cool. Probably one of my favorite things about this box art is the quote. Let me read it all for you. Don't just sit there and waste your precious time. When you want to do something, do it right away. Do it when you can. It's the only way to live a life without regrets. I don't even have a joke for this. It is generally beautiful. Comparing the two side by side, yeah, I definitely prefer the Japan cover more. And yeah, I know, Europe's there. I just don't care about Europe. And yes, I am British. Before getting to the review, I want to talk about my history with the game. The first time I played Sonic 1 was through the Classic Collection in the Nintendo DS. I don't have too much memories or nostalgia with this, but one that I definitely have a lot of experience with is the Christian Whiteout port of Sonic 1 in 2013. I remember downloading it and replaying Green Hill Zone over and over again. But like a lot of Sonic games at the time, I didn't get that far into it. I could never get past Marble Zone. I still remember enjoying the game, but I played CD and 2 more. Jump forward to 2020 quarantine. Before this review, I did a Sonic marathon for fun since I was really in a big Sonic mood at the time. However, I didn't go back to replaying the classic games. Not that I didn't like the classic games, I was just mainly more into the aesthetic and style of modern Sonic. Then around mid-2021, I decided to give the classic games a chance and started off with Sonic 1. And overall, I think it was about what I was expecting. A fun 2D platforming game with a few flaws, though I did not like the special stages at all. I didn't even attempt to get the first Chaos Emerald. Other than that, I thought the game was fun. Not the greatest Sonic game, but still pretty good. Alright, now on with the plot. The story takes place on South Island. The evil mad genius Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman, wants to take over the world. In order to do this, he must collect all 6 Chaos Emeralds. Our main protagonist, Sonic, discovers that all the animals on South Island have been turned into robot slaves, so it's up to him to free all of his friends, collect all 6 Chaos Emeralds, and defeat Dr. Robotnik to bring peace to South Island. Be Sonic. Be Atomic. Worst sex advice ever. Overall, quite a simple plot, but keep in mind that game plots back in the day were mainly just saving a girl from a bad guy, so Sonic was quite a fresh change of pace. I'm not saying that everyone should be astonished by Fat Man wants to collect rocks so Hedgehog beats the shit out of him, but it is definitely a good plot that summarizes the entire series as a whole. Finally, on to talking about the game. Sonic 1 is separated into 6 zones, each with 3 acts, with a boss at the end of Act 3. These stages are Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone, Spring Yard Zone, Labyrinth Zone, Starlight Zone, and Scrap Brain Zone. The controls are quite simple. You can only move left, right, jump, and roll. Or, if you're fun at parties, you can perform the Supersonic Spin Attack. Yeah buddy, I'm sure you can get laid telling a girl that. Throughout stages, you can collect rings. These are basically your life bar. If you lose them, you can get them back, and if you have 0 rings, you die. One cool thing is that if you collect 100 rings, you can get 1 extra life. In addition, there are multiple video monitors hidden within levels. These include a monitor with 10 rings, a seal that serves as an extra hitbox, power sneakers that make Sonic go really fast, invincibility shield which makes Sonic immune to anything for a certain period of time, except if he falls to a bottomless pit, drowns, or is being crushed. And finally a one-up box, which is quite self-explanatory. Rewinding back to the development history, remember how Yuji Naka said that he wanted to award players with speed depending on how skilled you are? Well, that's how Sonic's physics work in this game. You can't immediately go fast in the push of a button. In order to gain speed, you must gradually run, and over time, you'll be running at the speed of sound. See a slope? These things really help Sonic gain speed. One of my favorite things to do in this game is to roll into a ball and see how fast I can go. Honestly, the best things about the classic games are the physics. I just really love messing around with them and trying to go as fast as possible. The game even awards you for learning the physics by finding a secret area with hidden goodies, or even a faster route. I do still like the newer 3D games, but I really wish for a future Sonic game to capture the physics system in the classic games. One thing you might notice in Sonic 1 is that it's not nearly as fast as the other games, even Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Sure, he can go fast, but sometimes levels like Marble Zone don't really have that much opportunities for it. But don't let that make you think that Sonic 1 is bad by any means. Sure, speed is an important factor in Sonic games, but something that's also important is platforming, and I think Sonic 1 does really well in that regards. Many people complain about Sonic 1's level design. Some call it inconsistent, slow, inferior to other games, or even downright boring. But one stage that I think is an absolutely perfect example of a Sonic stage is Green Hill Zone. Not just one of the most iconic Sonic stage, but one of the most iconic levels in all of gaming, and for a good reason. The stage is extremely memorable and recognizable. The brown checkerboard floor, the bright emphasis on green, the amount of detail on the background, it all culminates into making one of the best looking stages in this game. Another important factor that makes the stage more memorable is the music, composed by Masato Nakamura. Fun fact about him, he's actually a well-known Japanese musician and is a member of the J-pop band Dreams Come True. Sega actually hired him to make the music for this game and Sonic 2. And for a game that came out in 1991, he did an amazing job, and Green Hill Zone even isn't one of the best songs in this game, and it's still oozing with so much love and joy into it. Sonic 1 may not be one of my favorite Sonic soundtracks, but considering the time it came out, this was definitely one of the best OSTs out there for a video game. Back to the level. The reason why I think this stage is a perfect example of a Sonic stage is because it has the right amount of speed, platforming, and exploration. Further explained, the level goes really well with Sonic's physics. There's tons of loops and slopes for you to gain speed, and the game teaches you how to use Sonic's roll ability perfectly with its level design. It makes it super fun to blast through. Not only that, the level is sprinkled with so many different alternate routes, depending on your skill level. This can easily be seen in the first few seconds of the first act. The stage also awards you for looking outside of the box with multiple TV monitors. One of my favorite things about this level is that it can still be fun for new players and skilled players. People who are new to the game can understand Sonic's controls and physics and have fun, while skilled players can take control of Sonic's physics and do absolutely crazy stuff with it. Just look at the speedrun by Joey on YouTube. I highly suggest watching his channel. He does really great speedruns of the classic games. At the end of Act 3, there's a boss fight with Dr. Robotnik, which is quite straightforward. Just avoid his attacks and hit him 8 times. It's not too easy nor too hard, but nothing too special. Just a fine boss fight. Next stage is Marble Zone. A lot of people seem to dislike this zone compared to Green Hill, and I do get why. The stage definitely doesn't have the amount of speed Green Hill has, and doesn't nearly have that much fun or memorable set pieces. I mean, if you want to count waiting for these things to grow up as fun, I think you should probably just play a Mario game. Though I do somewhat like this zone. Of course, it pales in comparison to Green Hill, but I do enjoy the platforming segments in this stage. And I also like the amount of hidden secret areas. Nakamura also does another great job with this song. It sounds really nice and adds a lot of atmosphere to the stage. Speaking of the stage, I do appreciate how it has 2 different backgrounds when you're at the top and when you're underground. I think the purple and green color palette goes well with each other. I just wish that there was more going on with the stage. I mean, look at the background to Green Hill and look at the background to Marble Zone. And the boss at the end of Act 3 is really easy. Overall, I think Marble Zone is a bit too overhated. I still think it's a good stage, but honestly, there is a lot of jank here, especially for new players. It can really kill the pace. Next up is Spring Yard Zone, a pretty good stage in my book. Definitely has a lot more memorable set pieces. For starters, there's tons of springs for you to jump on and reach higher places, and there's also many bumpers here too. It's like the early predecessor to Casino Night Zone. Another cool thing about this stage is that you can seriously gain a lot of speed by rolling down huge slopes. It's really fun and rewarding, especially after Marble Zone. But you can't talk about Spring Yard Zone without mentioning the music. Definitely one of the best songs in the soundtrack, up there with Green Hill. I just really love the jazzy vibe from it, and the remix T-Lopes made of it, oh my god, even 11 years ago he was still killing it. He also made remixes of other zones in the game. To be honest, they all sound amazing. Definitely recommend his channel. Though, one thing that I'm not too fond of is the background. It's not nearly as interesting as Green Hill or even Marble Zone. It's just that there's not nearly as much stuff going on. And these elevator blocks are just weird. Why have a stage centered around springs, bumpers, and momentum, and have a segment where you're just waiting for blocks? It just kills the pace. The boss at the end is also extremely easy. I mean, they give you an invincibility shield right before the boss. And what's up with this boss? Robotnik just uses a spike to remove blocks off the ground. Why not make the stage centered around the gimmicks of the stage? Maybe you can use springs and bumpers to hit Robotnik or something. That would be better than this. What? Well, I guess all my arguments are invalid. Thanks, Sega. Still, I do enjoy Spring Yard Zone. Definitely one of my top 3 favorite zones in this game. But my least favorite zone in this game has to be Labyrinth Zone. What even is there left to say about this stage? It blows dick, but not normal dick, like Bill Clinton smothered and sit dick. Just joking, I love you, Bill Clinton. Yeah, this zone sucks. It's the first water stage in this game, and it's extremely slow. There's absolutely 0 speed sections in this stage. When I want to play a Sonic the Hedgehog game, I want to go fast. That's why it's called fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and not Old Leaf Maurice the Hedgehog. Oh. Man, the Archie comics are weird. Plus, Sonic can't swim, and the only way to stay alive underwater are using air bubbles. One thing I can, however, praise about this stage is the music. Still as good as ever. I really dig the calm, catchy feel from it. And call me insane, but I really love drowning music. Not because it sounds good, but it has a feeling of urgency and captures how Sonic would feel at that moment. Alright, back to Sid talking about this level. Of course, the water sucks in this stage, but Something that even sucks more are the spikes. There's an abundance of them in the level, and when hit underwater, major slowdown happens and is insanely annoying. Plus, enemy placement can be insanely cheap. These orbitals are a pain in the ass to deal with, and the burrow-bots just come out of nowhere. Plus, there's this annoying glitch where in certain areas, Sonic doesn't jump in a ball. He just walks in the air, and it's really annoying when you're trying to hit an enemy or just get a TV monitor. In addition, there's this glitch where if you land in a spike, instead of going into your invincibility frames, you just bounce right into it again and you immediately die. I didn't really come across it in most of my time playing the game, but it's still pretty annoying when it happens. Luckily, there is this handy shortcut you can take in Act 1 which I always use. It just makes the stage more bearable, and the boss fight at the end is pretty bad. I mean, most of the time I usually go through it quite fine, but there is a few times where when I get hit once, I just drop to the bottom and it's really annoying. Other than that, it's not really a fight. You don't even have to defeat Robotnik, you just gotta reach to the top. Overall, 11 Zone sucks. It's easily one of the worst zones in the game, and in my opinion, one of the worst Sonic stages. After that, the next stage is Starlight Zone, another great stage in this game, up there with Green Hill. I really love the amount of speed this zone has. It feels like a roller coaster with the amount of slopes for you to gain speed and momentum. I found myself even breaking the speed cap in this stage quite a number of times. It's that fun! Nakamura also does an astounding job with the music, one of the best songs in this game by far. Even though I've never played this zone as a kid, I still get a sense of nostalgia from it. Though I wish the stage looked more vibrant and had more color to it, and these bomb enemies are quite annoying, especially when they're in large groups. The boss at the end of Act 3, however, was actually quite fun. I liked how they took the seesaw gimmick from the last few stages and incorporated it into the boss. It's probably my favorite boss from this game, though it's not really saying that much compared to the later entries. So after 5 zones, we arrive at the final level, Scrap Brain Zone. Robotnik does not hold back in this level. From start to finish, it is definitely one of the most difficult levels in this game. There's tons of stuff here that will kill you, from being crushed, seesaws, flamethrowers, electricity, bottomless pits, and pigs with bombs. Or what I like to call it, an average day in America. Of course, by now, you already know what I'll say about the song. One thing I'd like to say, however, is the background and setting of the zone. I really like how in Act 1 it takes place outside of a polluted factory with large industrial buildings. And in Act 2 it takes place inside Robotnik's base. And in Act 3 it takes place in... This is just Labyrinth Zone Act 4. With Act 1 and Act 2, sure, they're difficult, but overall I think they're fine, decent levels. But Act 3 is like if Sega went up to you and was like, hey, remember that one god-awful thing we did in the past? Let's do it again! Though, I could be more specific. Luckily, there is this shortcut you can take easily at the beginning of the stage. I always use it, and it shortens the stage from a few minutes to just 30 or 40 seconds. Before talking about the final boss, I want to talk about something I kinda brushed over at the beginning. If you collect 50 rings at the end of Act 1 and Act 2, you may notice a giant ring next to the goalpost. Jump into it and you'll enter a special stage. Complete it and you'll get one of the 6 Chaos Emeralds required to get the good ending. These special stages are weird. The stage is rotating 360 degrees and you have to manually control Sonic in ball form to jump and reach the Chaos Emeralds. Along the way you can get rings. Collect a certain amount of them and you'll get a continue. There are also many obstacles that can either help you or not. There's bumpers that can bounce you off, reverse blocks that make the stage rotate in the opposite way, up and down blocks that make the stage rotate faster or slower, and apparently a 1-up block. I've never seen this in game before, so yeah. There's also these gold blocks. Touch these and the stage will end. Honestly, I think these special stages are alright. They're pretty easy and the difficulty curve is all around the place. I mean, the last one was one of the most easiest special stages. And I'm not too turned off by the background. Though I do get why some people might not like these special stages. I mean, look at this. It's weird as hell. And I feel like later Sonic games definitely improve on the special stages. On a normal run of the game, I usually go for them. And they're not too hard to get, and they're a bit too overhated. Personally, for me, I think they're fine, but out of the classic games, yeah, this is the worst one. Finally, the final boss takes place at Robotnik's secret hideout, the final zone. And look, the bosses in this game are pretty pathetic. I mean, the final boss doesn't even feel like a final boss. Even though you have 0 rings, it's pretty easy. So your first time around, you may mess up a bit, but like after 3 or 4 tries, you can probably beat this boss fair and square. I mean, all you have to do is avoid the purple orbs, avoid getting crushed, and hit Robotnik when you see him. And that's it. Well, after saving the day and crushing Robotnik's plans, in the good ending, Sonic returns back to Green Hill and uses the Chaos Emeralds to make flowers. Good for him, I guess. In the bad ending, he just gives a kind of disappointed look before posing for the camera. I find it a bit funny. I like to imagine he just looks into the player's eyes in disappointment for not collecting all the Chaos Emeralds. After that, the credits roll, showing off a little montage of every zone in the game, ending off with Robotnik either juggling the emeralds you didn't collect or stomping on the end title. Wait a minute, where the hell even is Robotnik? Did Sonic just use the Chaos Emeralds to send him to the Shadow Realm or something? Wouldn't really be the first time. All in all, Sonic 1 isn't my favorite Sonic game. It isn't even my favorite 2D Sonic game, but it is definitely a solid good game. I think it has a lot of stuff going for it. For starters, the soundtrack is great for a 1991 game. Its presentation is good. I think Sonic controls really well, and when levels get good, it's really fun. However, this game has a lot of problems. Most notably, some levels are really slow compared to the likes of Green Hill and Starlight Zone. I do like Marble Zone, but considering the fact that Sonic was marketed as a fast-paced platforming game, it is definitely questionable why there were so many slow moments in this game. Another problem I have are the bosses. They're really simple and you can likely finish them off in just a few seconds. Some of them are just flat out pathetic. But my main problem with Sonic 1 is not the game itself, rather it suffers from first game syndrome. What I mean by this is that Sonic 1 nearly isn't as good as the other games in the franchise. It lacks speed, exploration, and even platforming to the other games. I'm not saying that Sonic 1 is bad by any means, but compare this to Sonic 2. Sonic 2 has the spin dash, tails, more levels, better special stages, and Super Sonic, while Sonic 1 has the first appearance of Cucky. I mean, I guess they're balanced. Seriously though, even though it seems like I'm hating on Sonic 1, I still think it's a good game. Sure, the game has many cons to it, but overall, I think Sonic 1 is a solid first entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, and it's definitely one of the most important games, not only to the franchise, but to pop culture. It made Sega a big name brand and gave Nintendo an actual rival. So with all that said, I'm going to give Sonic 1 a B tier. I was very close to giving this game an A tier, but after rounding everything up, I think it's more of a B tier. Or B plus, I guess. If you're a Sonic fan and haven't tried this game out yet, I definitely recommend it. Not to mention, this game is readily available in all consoles, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, but the best version out of all of them is the Christian Weather port on mobile. It's absolutely amazing. It has widescreen, 60 FPS, the spin dash, tails and knuckles, and other neat features. Honestly, it's such a sin that this amazing port is only available on mobile. We're likely never going to see this port ever be released for consoles and PC, which really sucks. However, sometime around 2022, Sonic Origins will come out and it'll have widescreen and 60 FPS. Though I'm not too pumped up about another classic collection, especially that there's so many of them. But it is cool that we'll finally have a version of Sonic 1 in consoles that is in widescreen 60 FPS. I'm just hoping that the quality will be as good as the Christian Whitehead port. I mean, just a few months ago, Sonic Colors Ultimate just came out, and it's really something special. So yeah, if you want to play Sonic 1, definitely try out the Christian Whitehead port, and if the Sonic Origins collection is good, definitely go for that too. Though, I feel that for new time players who have never played a Sonic game, this game wouldn't really be the best way to start out with the series. Sure, don't get me wrong, it is the first game in the franchise, but I think there is a better game in the series to start out with. A game as iconic as Sonic 1. A game that has a great sense of speed, platforming, and exploration. A game that is one of my favorite Sonic games. That game is